Am I the a-hole for not telling my roommate about my large salary when I'm aware he's been struggling to pay rent? I 28F live in a two-bedroom apartment with three roommates. It's small and we step on each other's toes sometimes, but it works for us because we were all in graduate programs when we met and needed something cheap. For the last 6 years, we've all split rent evenly, and I've been fine with that. Even when they all got jobs and I was still a resident, I didn't once ask to adjust the rent. Now, to be honest, I'm a very quiet and non-confrontational person, and residency kept me on weird hours, so I didn't speak to them a lot, and they didn't even realize that. I'd finished my program when I did. I also live on the second floor of our apartment in a space off the attic storage that was meant to be an office, so I keep to myself and go about my business. Once I became a licensed emergency physician, I was able to find a job in our city relatively quickly and started working about 4 months out of residency. I'd already worked as an EMT for years around this hospital, even in college when I was getting clinical hours for med school, so I knew the ED well, and it wasn't hard for me to get a job there. I still had loans from med school to pay off, so I saw no problem with hanging around and paying my same share of the rent, utilities, and groceries that I'd paid for 6 years until I built up savings, even though I was making more than my other three roommates combined. I'm not in a relationship, don't want kids now, and I liked my little living arrangements while I got some savings behind me. I was fine until shift hit the fan yesterday, and by some insane stroke of bad luck, one of my roommates, 27M, was in a car crash and was transported to the hospital by ambulance when I was on shift. He was fine, just a bit of whiplash and a stitched up cut from broken glass. But while he was in the ED, he saw me and realized I wasn't a resident anymore. Even though he couldn't pin down my exact salary, a quick Google search could tell him that in our city, I was making at least double what my roommates were. He was mad and he told my other two roommates while I was still at work, so when I came home, they were all waiting for me. He confronted me and asked me what I was making, and I told them the truth. They all lost their minds at me because I knew that I had been struggling to make his share of the rent every month, whereas I was hoarding my money. I listened to what they had to say, but said that I still had loans to pay off and I was going to bed. I was tired after a long shift, and I'm aware that I was probably really blunt and cold, because when I'm getting yelled at, part of my job description is just to take it with a calm face. This morning, they've all been giving me the cold shoulder, and though they haven't talked about it yet, I can feel it coming. I don't know how to address this because I really liked our living arrangements and don't want it to change, but I can't help feeling like I'm the age for not helping A out more. So, am I the a-hole?